Into yogosemia na gukumenya yago korekana kira rituko nabariki baitu beandrete chinga kichons asengencho yao eyariganie asobo tengali botari no mubwekano. Eye ni Ensoko TV oboroso bumugusi umuruburi kubwatia na bukurigirirwa na kiro muntu.
Emambiengia omurigirirwa Ensoko no nakwane buna andonsia sore kwa bukiribya nabo igori tkuria oni igori reri twereru chinsani nye chabono mambio moroberi bwetorobini chitariki ne 25 omutinyi no yokano mwaka bwechiri bubere 25 no yomo torobini buna butambo tokumurekera ari agendete gwateka imena boigo iskoyense no yini gabwa sore nigo tokumurekera ari agendete gokorekana ange gabwa sore torobini Ensoko yachakire bano kuyarigania erindo nyare ko bagukugenderera no muroberi kurbono wika chinsa isano ne mocho mugaso bwerit koria rero gento okora nabo kogendaga ari ase mitandao yonsi yekerero tonyore buna Ensoko TV nabo kunyara ko baguku like video yiga na endo nyare ko bagogo share eri nyare ko bagwikera abantu abange ne tonyare ko batuguska bosio asenchira ya bene kigima eri etariane Linet Nyamabane Etorobini Ensoko yachakire. Chakekero omo waziri boborendi boimeyense omoske Kipchumba Murkomen nabaigo omo inspector general w'abanyanyimbo Douglas Kanja baraire omo yegabo kwarigania abanyanyimbo barikonya bakora emirimo asense ya iti gukwana kurwa ase ensemeyo abarayabu nigo banyareko bagotogia abanyanyimbo abo ase egasiengi abanyareko bakora asegeka kemia kebere.
We also continue to honor the memory of MSS officers APC Samuel Tomoy Keutai, Benedict Kabiru, and Corporal Kennedy Mzuve, who paid their ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. Ladies and gentlemen, at the outset of this mission, there were doubts, some questioned whether officers from Africa would effectively confront the scale of gang violence here. Others questioned the wisdom of deploying forces across such a great distance. But Kenya believed and still believes that peace and security are shared global responsibilities. What happens in one part of the world can have consequences far beyond its borders.
Thank you, Kenyans. You are the hope for the Western Hemisphere in our hour of need. Thank you for giving the last 2 years of your lives. Many of you have been here for 2 years now. I know you are so excited to go home to your families. Please let your families know how grateful we are to you and your families for coming all the way here to answer the call for help for people who are 12 million people are being held hostage by a few bad guys. And you came and you were present and you held the ground and you fought back. And you are the hope for Haiti. So thank you. I'm representing the United States of America and on behalf of our entire diplomatic corps here in Haiti. We're so grateful to you and enjoy going home to your families. Thank you very much.
I must say that I'm satisfied with what you have done over the last 18 months. You have done a good job. You remember when you left Nairobi, there were many naysayers who thought that you won't make it. But I'm happy and proud to note that you have done the job. You have left Haiti much better than it was 18 months ago. We are going back to Nairobi so that you can be able to rejoin your colleagues back in Kenya and we will assign you duties, our national duties, within the Republic of Kenya. I'm also happy to note that you have also acquired a lot of experiences that you are ready to share with others, your colleagues back home there. Experiences that are going to enrich our training programs, experiences that are also going to assist us in terms of coming up with good SOPs going forward. I'm looking forward for all of us, coming together, looking at the AR, the after action review, that are also going to inform our programs going forward. So mine is to say a big thank you to all of you. And I must say here that I am proud of you, because I did not receive any indiscipline case over that period of time. And we are very, very, very proud of you as a National Police Service.
For 18 months, working closely with the Haitian National Police, our officers helped restore order in key areas, pushed back gang activity, and created a security condition necessary for Haiti political process to move forward. This effort culminated in a moment of historic significance, the peaceful transfer of executive power on the 7th of February 2026, following the conclusion of the mandate of the Transitional Presidential Council. Today, a government that was once at risk of being overrun by gangs not only stands, but is steadily regaining its footing. Our officers secured critical infrastructure, including the airport, the seaport, and major transport corridors. They conducted joint operations, restored state presence in previously inaccessible areas, and supported the reopening of schools, hospitals, and businesses. In many neighborhoods, families have begun returning to homes they abandoned. Commerce is gradually picking up. Confidence in public institutions is being rebuilt. These achievements were realized despite the significant personnel, logistical, and material constraints. At its peak, the mission deployed fewer than 100,000 personnel against authorized strength of 2,500, largely due to limitations in infrastructure. Yet, even with these constraints, the mission delivered very meaningful results.
I have to thank you on behalf of the Prime Minister, the government, and Haitian people. We really appreciate your help here in Haiti, and we wish you a safe trip back home. And what I can say is thank you for your commitment, and also you will be welcome to Haiti at any time, and Haiti, the government, the Haitian people will never forget you. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you for your bravery, for your courage, your discipline, and for being here to undertake this very important assignment. I wish you well as you return home, and thank you deeply for being the very first contingent of the GSF. The best tribute we can pay to you is to succeed and to neutralize the gangs.
Beyond statistics and operational gains, perhaps the most powerful testimony that came from Haitian people themselves. Just last week, as one of our contingents prepared to depart, members of the public attempted to block their exit from the camp, a spontaneous expression of appreciation and trust. That bond between our officers and the communities they served is something we will always carry with us with a lot of pride. To the government and the people of Haiti, we say this: your resilience is unmistakable. Time and again, you have demonstrated the strength to overcome adversity. There is no clear symbol of that resilience than your qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. After 52 years, you achieved under extraordinary circumstances. Kenya will be cheering you on, Mr. Minister. As I conclude, I once again reaffirm Kenya's enduring solidarity with the people of Haiti. While this chapter closes, our friendship does not. Kenya will continue to stand with Haiti in the pursuit of lasting peace, stability, and prosperity.
Tukurwa senseme ya Haiti nigo tukwirana gwikase county ya Nairobi ase omurai w'ikiama gya DCP Yugoseri Gathegashagwa uganirie kigambiro kuruguchika guchia ase serikali ku mwaka na eng'eri yae ye miaka 5 iyo akorete mirimo buna omukonyi bw'omurai bwense koreng'ana na senior counsel Paul Mwite abu aserit kore igoro chingaki gyogotegererwa giekina ase kigambiro kya mirimani gaigaso mucho Nairobi amo naba wakiri bande nigo batebire buna okurusigwa kwa Gashagwa ase obisi nigo kurema minchane katiba nonye nigo nkwabwatetie richiko ase bono batebire nigabwenete kwakanwa chibese chiae chemyaka 5 buna omukonyi bw'omurai bwense ase ekinekyo kegochigotegererwa naende chitariki isano na ibere na bego chitariki isano na isato chomotienyu ogatano mwaka oyo iga.
Page 7 of our written submission, paragraph 5, is what I'm briefly referring to. The National Assembly conducted a public participation exercise on the 4th and 5th October 2024. However, the exercise was not adequate or meaningful. The exercise did not provide the public, for example, with the Deputy President's side of the story. The public was only presented with the allegation made by the National Assembly. And our submission is that if there is going to be effective public participation, it was essential for the public to be presented with what the Deputy President was saying. But that was never done. In Nairobi, for example, in the county of Nairobi, the National Assembly public participation for the county of Nairobi, capital city. The public participation at the Bomas of Kenya was presided over by select ODM members of parliament from Nairobi County, who repeatedly asserted that the event was for invited guests only. Lord, it is our submission that that is a mockery of effective public participation under the Constitution. And you'll find what I'm saying in the exhibit, my Lord, in exhibit marked RG 5 in volume 6, page 757 to 758. And also exhibit marked RG 7 in volume 6, page 764 to 765.
In fact, Mr. Wachira Maina informs me, and I believe him, that in management theory, there is a concept described as malicious compliance. It informs me that there is a legitimacy gap that is wider than the Pacific Ocean between good faith compliance and malicious compliance. I want to persuade you that the motions that the first petitioner was taken through at the National Assembly and the Senate of Kenya passed the test of malicious compliance. The danger of allowing malicious compliance to go unredressed is that it injects an irredeemable legitimacy gap in constitutional processes. The second inspiration that I wish my lords to bear in mind as you determine this matter was set out by the Court of Appeal of Kenya in the case of Martin Nyaga Wambora and 3 others, versus the Speaker of the Senate and 6 others. This matter traversed our entire superior court system. I'll have a very emphatic of which particular court I'm referring to when I refer to the Wambora case. So I'm looking at the Court of Appeal 2014. In that matter, the Court of Appeal began by setting out what would inspire it as it writes that judgment. So you look at paragraphs 2 and paragraph 3 of the 2014 Wambora case at the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal observes, and I quote, "No parliament, no official, and no institution is immune from judicial scrutiny." I say this because to such other debt as you shall defer us to, some people will take this stand and tell you that there are political issues here that are immune from your scrutiny. The second inspiration that the Court of Appeal set out in the Wambora case was that it is the Constitution, not Parliament, not the executive, not the judiciary, which is supreme. It is the Constitution. I stand here to canvass one substantive question, a continuation of the threshold concerns surrounding the motion, particularly as eventually approved by the Senate. Your brother, Mr. Justice Bahati Mwamuye, has observed in the now famous Kawira Mwangaza case that watering down impeachment, lowering its bar too low, or allowing it to become a facade that masks hidden political interests runs the risk of Kenyans losing confidence in the process. That's the big risk that our constitutional order is subjected to if we allow what happened in this country, culminating into the resolution of the 17th of October 2024, to stand. It's a threat to confidence in our constitutional democracy itself. Allow me just to reiterate one question that has bothered me, and my learned senior colleague, Senior Counsel Paul Mwita, has touched on it. On 17th of October 2024, when you go through the Hansards of the Senate that I will draw your attention to in a short while, the Speaker of the Senate delivered a communication from the chair, an actual ruling, which informed the members that the first petitioner was in fact indisposed and not available to be heard as guaranteed by law. And thirdly, the standard of gross misconduct. Let's face it, my lords, my lady. The drafters of this constitution would as well characterize these wrongs as violation of the constitution, because that's also a wrong, or reason to believe that the DP has committed a crime, or misconduct. Those are wrongs. But they were particular to add these descriptive words, gross, to the violation, gross to the misconduct, and serious to the reasons. The conclusion I draw from this is that they set a very high threshold for removal of a deputy president from office.
On 9th October 2024, JN4, the affidavit of Jeremiah Nyegenye at paragraph 22, the morning sitting, on the Hansard, the Speaker of the Senate misleads the Senate, saying that we have two options to deal with this motion, alike the procedure for governors and deputy governors. It says we have a motion is the first for impeachment of deputy president, but we have two options that we have when it comes to the impeachment of deputy governors and governors. My Lord, that is a heresy. And because of that, just common ground again, the Senate does not form the committee. The special committee under Article 145(3) is not formed. Why? The Speaker misleads the House that they have two options. They can either investigate the charges by committee, Article 143.
Omwancho murigereria nigo tokugenda EMACM gwikaga iga gose ase egeikaro kegendete gokorekana iga somucho Nairobi egeikaro ekyo ne kya mining investment gose gekuru kwa mining investment conference ekekorekana iga somucho Nairobi asabano tokumanya gobuna omurai bwense nero gendete gukwana gose kuru enkwana aye kubwatekana na ari agendete gokorekana ase egeikaro itigaturanyore enkwana eyo omurai bwense.
And to the great people of Nigeria who are my in-laws, and do so in good English. And, you know, I was captured, I was speaking to my fellow citizens somewhere, and somebody, it was supposed to be a private conversation, but somebody decided that it should be public. But they also misrepresented the facts. The facts are that I was talking about how we in Africa speak very good English. All of us. In fact, in some countries like Nigeria, if you don't speak excellent English like the one we speak in Kenya, you may need a translator, you know, for you to understand the excellent English of Nigeria. So that was the comparison, but somebody decided to take it out of context. But I think it is as well that we can have this conversation. And my in-laws, I hope there will be no consequences for whatever was done. Otherwise, I wish you productive and very impactful deliberations. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Eye ni Ensoko TV, uboroso bumugusi. Je, una ndoto kufanya kazi ughaibuni? Mwakala wa ALM tutakuwezesha kutimiza ndoto yako. Tunatoa ajira katika nyanja mbalimbali kwenye mataifa ya Qatar, Milki za Kiarabu, Saudia, Bahrain, bara Europa, miongoni mwa mengine.
We are legally registered by the National Employment Authorities, and we are licensed to do manpower recruitment for different countries. Currently, we are reaching companies in UAE, in Qatar, Russia, and we are hoping to enlarge our boundaries.
Kwa maelezo zaidi, wasiliana nasi kwa nambari 0721151500 au 0729690571 au unaweza kutembelea katika ofisi zetu zilizopo jijini Nairobi katika jumba la Delta House, orofa ya pili, chumba nambari 204 katika barabara ya University Way.
Tupigie simu utimize ndoto yako ya ng'ambo. Karibuni sana.
Mrna nabalibe chinguru ilikwe manyabo na wataka kuruchitana nyachense. Frida Kerubo, Innocent Onyango, Clinton Ondigi, Diana Ndemo, Ishmael Mogere, Linet Nyamabane, Daniel Omwaga, eke na kigekos kiamesa yamangana maya. Kurumucho mano Nairobi, Kisii, Nyamira, nechingongo chinde chense ya Kenya. Abariki baitomba bakorentera mangana maya asenchira yoboikirano. Emanya mange naboigo bwatira Ensoko TV koigeka chingenjo chyomugusi. Ensoko TV, oboroso bwomugusi.
Omwancho mulire Ensoko TV ngetase Ensoko TV nibwatira sengencho yao
kokoretera amangana amaya
ayatabwati gwanchero korgonsi korime yagusi na isiko yagusi
to kubekera tene ni anyare koba kawateka
atabwati gwanchire monda bwansi
korwa se ebunge ya kitutu chache South Meye County ya Kisii erietari anen Caroline Mausa
korwe county ya Nyamira erietari Nyarike Steven Embonde
korwa se county ya Kisii erietari anen.
Different parts of the world, including my in-laws from Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to join you this morning for this significant event that underscores the strategic importance of mining sector in shaping the economic future of our country and continent. I am informed that this expo has brought together over 500 delegates. I think it has been improved by nation media to 700 from across Africa and the global mining ecosystem, including multinational corporations, investors, financial institutions, development partners, technologists, and community stakeholders. To all delegates and participants, I extend a very warm welcome to Nairobi, with a clear and unambiguous message. The time has come to take next decisive steps forward, unlocking the full economic potential of the mining sector. For far too long, the abundant mineral wealth we possess has generated prosperity for others, while its true owners, our citizens, have derived only limited benefit. After more than 60 years of independence, few African countries can fully account for and fully benefit from their mineral endowments. We must correct this glaring distortion. Gatherings such as this one must serve as a turning point, bringing us closer to a future in which Africa's resources work first and foremost for the people of our continent. I am therefore delighted to note that we are joined by delegates from Nigeria, Tanzania, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Somalia, and South Sudan. Your presence here affirms a conviction I hold deeply, that Africa's mineral wealth is a shared strategic asset. The decision we take now and in the years ahead will determine whether this abundance is harnessed to build African industries, create jobs in Africa, and drive African prosperity, or whether it continues to benefit others beyond our shores. Ladies and gentlemen, we meet at a moment of extraordinary opportunity. The global shift towards clean energy is fundamentally redefining the strategic value of minerals and positions Africa as the center of that transformation. According to the International Energy Agency, demand for critical minerals such as lithium, cobalt, nickel, and graphite is projected to triple by 2030 and quadruple by 2040 as the world accelerates towards net zero emissions. At the same time, Africa holds about 30% of the world's critical mineral reserves, including significant shares of cobalt, manganese, platinum, and rare earth elements essential for batteries, electric vehicles, wind turbines, and solar technologies. Yet, despite these endowments, the continent currently captures less than 1% of the value generated from global clean energy technologies. The reason is clear. For too long, we have extracted and exported raw materials at the bottom of the value chain, while others have processed, refined, manufactured, and captured the greater share of economic value. That is precisely why the government of Kenya has undertaken a clear and deliberate position, one I reaffirmed last week at the Africa We Build Summit, that Kenya will no longer be a supplier of raw materials to fuel the industries of others. Working in collaboration with our African colleagues, and this meeting is very pivotal. We will process our minerals here in the continent. We will refine them here. We will manufacture them here. The full length of the value chain must and will generate value for Africa, for African prosperity. Indeed, we are already on this journey. The iron ore pelletization plant in Taita Taveta, currently in final stage of construction, represents an 11 billion investment that will create approximately 3,000 jobs for our people, including the value of iron ore, of iron and steel that will come from that manufacture. Our gold refinery project is also advancing towards completion, while the Voi Gemstone Value Addition Center is already operational, serving artisanal miners and small-scale operators with access to cutting, polishing, grading, and international market linkages. Like many African countries, Kenya is endowed with significant mineral wealth. Our National Airborne Geophysical Survey, the most comprehensive geological mapping exercise in our history, has identified over 970 mineral deposits across the country. These resources are widely distributed across the length and breadth of our country. Gold stretches across the Western Belt, from Narok through Migori and Kakamega into Turkana and Marsabit counties. We have niobium and rare earth elements in Kwale, iron ore in Taita Taveta, and titanium along the coast. Gemstones span the central and coastal regions, while copper, chromite, and manganese are found across the northern, eastern counties, among many others. As a country, we are quite literally sitting on immense wealth. But having minerals in the ground is not in itself an achievement. The true measure of success lies in converting them into tangible prosperity for our citizens. That is the goal we are pursuing. It requires investment, technology, and strong partnerships supported by a conducive fiscal and regulatory environment in which all these elements can come together effectively. As an administration, we are deliberately building those conditions. We enacted the Mining Act, a progressive, transparent, and investor-friendly legal framework that replaced colonial-era 1940 legislation. We have strengthened our institutional and regulatory capacity to deliver faster, more predictable licensing outcomes. We have digitized our licensing system. Through the online mining cadastre, applicants can now apply for mineral rights from anywhere in the world through a process that is transparent, efficient, and accountable. In addition, we have established Nairobi Mining Corporation we have established the National Mining Corporation as the government's investment arm in the mineral sector. In essence, the fundamentals for a viable and competitive mineral sector, one capable of delivering shared value for our people, our economy, and our investors, are firmly in place, and Kenya is ready for investment. However, the progress we seek cannot be achieved by government alone. The scale of investment required to develop processing plants, refineries, smelters, and the necessary supporting infrastructure demands private capital, global technology, and strong international market partnerships. To the investors in this room, Kenya is not asking you to take a leap of faith. We are asking you to look at evidence, examine our geology, assess our legal and regulatory framework, review our institutional architecture, consider our infrastructure connectivity, and our strategic positioning as a gateway to East and Central Africa. Evaluate the viability of projects before you. Then make your decision on the basis of facts, clarity, and opportunity. To the ministers and distinguished guests from the continent present here, I say this: the conversations we have in this room, such as this, matter. The conversations we have in rooms elsewhere also matter. Africa's mineral wealth must become a strategic lever that we learn to deploy collectively, deliberately, and with purpose. I fully support the vision of the Africa Minerals Strategic Group. I endorse deeper intra-African cooperation in mineral development, processing, and trade. And I strongly support the operationalization of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area in the minerals sector. It is important, and if you look at some of the newspapers that you have today, we had a meeting last week where we were discussing how Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, as states, can invest in a joint refinery that will refine the oil resources that we have in this region. The oil resources we have in Uganda, a bit in Kenya, in South Sudan, and our region. And the industrialist from our West Africa, Mr. Dangote, was here with us, and he was sharing with us the opportunity that is available if we can combine and work together. And we have made the decision that we're going to do this together. We're going to harness the synergies of Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and South Sudan possibly working together so that we can have one big refinery here. And that is the benefit of countries coming together. I welcome the comments by my good friend, the CEO of Nation Group, that they will profile our continent, our region, and for that matter, our country positively. When you read the headline on the East African, it says, Uganda's headache. There was no headache. For heaven's sake, there was no headache. I mean, how does 3 countries coming together to build one piece of infrastructure that supports the region, how does that amount to a headache? So I really want to persuade us, as you sit here, let us believe in ourselves. Let us believe in our continent. And I always urge people in Kenya, let us believe in our country. Let us profile it positively. Let us work together so that we can harness the full potential of who we are, the resources that we have, and the opportunities that are there for the benefit of everybody. And that would really help us make much more progress. In our region, we are thinking of how all the assets that we have, if it is the oil that we have, we must use it to industrialize our countries. We cannot continue to export or to be exporters of raw materials. And that is the conversation we were having with President Museveni and President Samia Suluhu, that the oil resources we have in this part of the East African region cannot be exported to be refined elsewhere. That is why we want to use our own resources to industrialize. We have a bigger opportunity in mining. We have huge mineral resources in the East and Central African region. We need to combine all these resources, use the huge resources we have of clean energy, geothermal, wind, solar, hydro, in our region, to mine these resources, to process these resources, and use these resources to industrialize our region. This is the focus, I hope, and I persuade you to focus as a region. This is how we are going to liberate ourselves as we look at the continent, as we stretch our imagination to 2050. A quarter of the world population will be living in Africa. That is strategic as a market. That is strategic as a workforce. And if you combine that with the resources that we have, the wealth of resources we have.
Biamono kigima omorgererwa Ensoko oyinigari ngomura ibwense ya Kenya umuske William Ruto uyogendete kura egeikaro ekigendete gokorekana aigaso mucho Nairobi kirotokura se county ya Nairobi nigoto kwenda eyemase yemo gwika ase county ya Nyamira asebono iga omugabana bwe county ya Nyamira umuske Amos Nyarebo nigo agendete kura omoyega bwo kubwatoka ebintu byobobweni gusamariogo ayoseine chiringi emilioni emiyemo gochia ase chinyagitari ao chie county ya Ituranyora ariagendete gukorekana kura se county ya Nyamira.
Madawa zimekuja kutoka KEMSA, we want to counter check ile dawa yenye imekuja kama iko kwa hii maroli. So your excellency, tukimaliza hii mkutano tutaenda huko tuangalie hizo madawa kama ziko zote ndio watu wetu wapate dawa, si ndio wananchi? Asante sana na Mungu aendelee kuwabariki.
Asante ndugu yangu. His Excellency the Governor, our protocol. Na wasalimu wa mjambo. His Excellency the Governor, looking at the team which came from the County Assembly, I'm happy that West Mugrango is well represented. It was only West Mugrango MCAs who are here with you. I don't know whether you've noted that. Secondly, I'm happy that the community health promoters who are here who also came from West Mugango, in particularly Township Ward. So I want to believe that we're in support of this program that you're doing, sir. And that's why we're all here. Mheshimiwa Dio Koyag Masira, MCA Wahi Ward, where we have this big facility. Marka, thank you for this dream. Thank you for your team. Was it the only thing that you didn't do? Was it the only thing that you didn't do is to introduce the team which will be managing that facility, so that tukiona hata mtu kutoka na bahasha tunajua vitu zetu zimeanza kupotea kidogo. So the best thing that you could have done is to introduce the team which will be taking care of that facility, because the money that we put there is a lot of money which will wish that should be taken care of, so that we'll be sure of the coins that we've put aside for medication. The big issue that we've been having around His Excellency, siku hizi hata ukiingia hapo usafi choo sana. Madaktari wetu wote they are doing wanajituma vizuri sana. But madawa kidogo yalikuwa yameanza kuleta mnunguniko. But I want to thank you for this effort that you've done here today. Ono waziri agenda kurokinda idego sabe kemo keringa ande nage kwanisi ke kuzina liense tari kumanya akabesa kali baskaba bako nyora siringe marongebere ngago tenena. Agantu kana kubago takabanya rona gantu ke piki bana gutarira. Ngako bekera ni kubanja kwaka nuzuru mutinyukane andi bakaire gutia ngao igashiri babone ko tukorera andi yaratenena. Pesa kebe kire se budget na ndari His Excellency tokora kubona na His Excellency. Dando muntu yugo trenerete company yigo abakari abigasi bakoba. Bana bari nabarubu bago chabaga nyigwa macho kwaka nuzine mitinyene itato bono banyo ngano no kumike fair ya kurushwa gogo cha yabigasi. Ona mwana yuni His Excellency tokutukana sote ebi and waziri yuhia. A very able, competent, bright guy. Indi mukuri nongere gabantu bakore rwango barwa bagasiye kore koko koreka. Yes. So that is our request. Pinjombire ko mwako yuka bekire sije budget ya chire oro na inu mwabwati mwakore bwango. Muko na kuchana huko same finance kwenye tara saini ko se keep them games chere binti mwakora bantu baitu babe motivated. Ikiwezekana kidogo tafadhali His Excellency for motivation of these our health staff who are here, usiku for those hospitals which run 24/7 in His Excellency. Abachabanyo na gachai gabana busibo na katiga na liyo batali kusunduko bwangu kasi etebwenere. Mungu ambaraka awachunge na ande garumo kuru igana incha banda bakana ikunga na ebe wodi yana na inchini ndige no ebintu bitano igana inimo onyo na gasoda mo buchi. Jitinda atakakuriki karuko kande kakari kuchigoro na kaiga. Amada marwa ngore udekete kurikia karoga akuto chena kurukara hinchuna ga apati akakomugusi na atare nae. Ingota take tara no musibon. Yes. So Mungu awabariki na His Excellency will be working with you. Ditu agotemo gatokara ko no kubati siga azito kujumu. Thank you. Okay. Honorable Duke, you can sit, take your seat. Your Excellency, the Governor of this great county, Honorable Amos, on behalf of the Committee on Health, as the chair, I bring the apologies of several members of that committee who have not attended because they were held elsewhere. Honorable Governor, to me this is a new dawn for this county. And after leaving office, Honorable Governor, I leave a legacy that when we passed this fund, the revolving fund, I was the chair of Health. And I'm happy and I'm proud about that. There are issues which have been raised, especially the one which Honorable Martha raised. We don't want to discuss it here about the debt, because it was unfortunate that the two debts, Waziri, you could know, they are from my ward.
let's pray for those families. And I'm happy to have heard from the representative of KEMSA that more drugs are coming, especially for the health centers. Around the county, in the health centers and other facilities, there are no drugs, but I know we are requesting the governor and the executive that, Honorable Governor, you give it your personal touch so that the facilities can get the drugs and the services will be good to our people. I want to wish you well, Your Excellency. We will support the health sector so much, and that's my assurance as the chair. Father, I'm requesting the fourth estate that today we want to see what has been done here in the entire country, so that what was said last week by the CS, we call it narrowed for it. That Nyamira is overworking in the sector of health. God bless each one of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chairman Keganda. Now, before I invite His Excellency the Governor, allow me, Your Excellency, to summarize one or two issues that members have raised. One is the issue of maternal health care. Your Excellency, among the niche that this facility has in our county, it is known to be doing a very good job on maternal. It is known. Let's, Waziri, do not allow that niche to disappear. Nyamira, this hapa ndio kwa mama wetu wanakuja. Wanajua Nyamira does a very good job on the whole cycle of maternal and child health care. Kindly improve on it if there is any issue or a gap arising out of it. Two, members have raised the issue of the health workers, the community health promoters. Your Excellency, I can see this is a technological agency. Let's explore ways of including their salary in this system, so that as we process the stock requirement across the various facilities, you are able to see the kind of bill you have, so that at the end of the month you pay them. It's not a lot. It's really not a lot. Lastly, is the issue of stockouts. I hope, Your Excellency, that the agency, with the coming of the agency, will not be having any stockouts in the various facilities. Tutakuwa na madawa throughout. Asanteni sana. With a lot of humility, therefore, allow me welcome His Excellency to address us.
Good morning, everybody. I know we have come from far, and I've inquired that you have 2 months salary arrears, and I declare that you be cleared within 1 week. The arrears be paid within 1 week, and thereafter you be paid monthly without arrears. Simuli pata ile tunaita sha. Ilana ile mlikuwa mnasema tuwalipie 500. Si tulilipa. situwaripia SHA. Waziri, what happened? Huh? What happened? I think there's a discussion, as he says, with the national government so that we can give a combined effort. Thank you. The great people of Nyamira, in 2022, I promise you a reliable, sustainable, efficient health system. A system with essential and affordable drugs and other health commodities. Today, we have made a step as we launch the Nyamira County Revolving Health Products and Technologies Agency Fund. I wish to applaud our honorable members for expedience working with my government in enabling the Nyamira County Health Products Technology Revolving Fund 2025. It has enabled us to flag off the first batch of commodities today. This concept, once fully implemented, will ensure our facilities are fully supplied with the drugs and other medical commodities. This consignment, worth over 100 million shillings, that we are flagging off, will recover all 116 public health facilities. It is supplied by our partner, KEMSA. What I didn't understand is that are the drugs in the other facilities or was it? Or KEMSA? Have you delivered? When are they delivering? KEMSA, come. We are launching 100 million. And you said you are now stocked 100%.
We will ensure that we fulfill 100%. What has come is for hospitals. The next batch for level 3s and level 2s will be coming after next week.
After next week is when? Even next year is after next week?
No.
Tell us. Because we have made an order.
Yes, the picking will be.
We don't have a date with you. We have cleared, so when are you delivering exactly? You call them and tell us.
All right.
Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, as facilities receive the commodities, the Revolving Health Products Technologies Agency will invoice them. This is how we actualize the revolving financing concept. For this system to work, I urge all our people to register and enroll with SHA. I also call on all our facilities to take advantage of the claiming system under SHA to enable 100% reimbursement of the commodities. I think the minister has explained in depth. You receive the drugs and you pay for it after claiming with the SHA. So as we move forward, the biggest problem we have is SHA. SHA is holding out 400 million, so we urge them. We'll ask Kitware to address that, not another thing. Then to battle you. Finally, as part of expansion of our services, the health department will expand the renal unit in Nyamira County Rural Hospital, introduce other units at Keroka and other sub-county hospitals. Ni kama renal unit, nimeona watu walikuwa congested inafunguliwa saa 9. So, tunanunua machine, alafu tuweke ikue devolved so that watu wanamaliziwa karibu na kwao kwa sub-counties. Number 2, we are going to install an MRI machine and the CT scans at Nyamira County Rural Hospital and the Keroka Sub-County Hospital. We have, but we have to modernize. We are not going to buy machines at Duale. Tumekataa. Number 3, we are going to expand inpatient services at Kichauri, Manga, Ekarenyo, and Mawawa. Number 4, we are going to expand the trader services at Mokomoni, Nyamusi, Nyangena, and Mawawa. We are going to upgrade Nyamaya, Chinga, Yetare, and the Tumbe to level 4 hospitals. Is that what they call it, failed systems? Is that a failed system or progressive? Yes. On this note, I wish to assure the people of Nyamira County that we will no longer have shortage of drugs in our facilities. What we are saying is, after this 100 million, which will go direct to the facilities and which is part of the agency, because agency will invoice them.
Biamono kigma omurigere bwensoka kerende no kwegena ng'ani gogendete konyora ayo agendete gokoreka asebonega ni gotwara konyora omugavana bwe county ya Nyamira Moske Amusinyarebo uyo agendete kura omoyega goso moroberi bwo kubwatuka amariogo aisaine chiringi emilioni emiyemo gochia ase chinyagitari ao chie county eyu ayo ni gachira matuka make magega banyara kwa bakurutirana chinkwana no muaziri bobo chenu mense adendware ase noni nkwana ya mugaso obono igago system ambia bono nyaribonyare ko bagagotebanga bado musimamo weno ritago chikonyara ko bagakogora chimashini kurwa go stago chigwanjerana chimashini chikurwa ase wizare yobo chenu eyu kurawona adendware unabotambe asomoroberi wetorobini ntunda ya kabere ni gotogusanga no mogani asabono mogani onyare ko bagagwikaga igase studio eto chikomorekera anena mangana ao ayo agendete gokorekana imeyense anene ase amangana siasa abarayi nechi agenda babwate gosensiasa bagendete gokora mbiamono samuria sogutara wikase studio ya Ensoko.
Biamono.
Karibu sana na bokwa ni murigerere nditoma ko gendereye masemo.
Minto mwana gitinge yona bakwanire na ndase mambi ya lero nyasa tu bwerere tuikiraiga egere turingori chinkwana ibiri isatu ase siasa yaitu ya Kenya na mang'ana ndari atutungetie ase ense yaitu biamano kawa na indu
biamono sana. Kwanza turachakire ng'aniga yo mugavana bwe county ya Nyamira Amos Nyaribo nkwa ikere nkwana ya ebuna ukwa rankiora kwane kubatikana ne nkwana siasa ng'ire mapema gusine agenda arorenga ya bamintu abanyamira mwachandikire gose twachandikire mbaga netia mariogo bono tiganda bwatuka mariogo nyaribo
tabwati agenda sa abanyamira unango tawa butambe nyaribo gari mistake yamana nasi nyamira asengenjo nisukuri ele ntakoronjero bwe komanya ntakimanyeti ratu ategereire na ya isukurigereria nyaribo gareteire gento igari kire gento bwe komanya na tamanyiti gusenga kodeteki nkero mara gwe wa otabanga igakoronzi chikumudi 100 million nande later buna chikokora mwino gabo nando taba 200 million mara igatete gwa upgrade nyagitari ya manga nyagitari ya mawawa ne nyagitari chinde au chi upgrade but his status to level 4 lakini status still kelimate you know my status is services egero ku upgrade nyagitari status ni service yokorwa service inchire level 4 bawena takuru na ne chichinde so gotote bingo ngango ndari gwa upgrade tira ide ko yera tebwati kende lakini nga services chiri chikurwe wasi nyagitari ichi the services chia level 4 no nyabona iga mariogo ta you know my to admit ribono mnata ngaki ngabona muchando tuli kuchikoba bwa mariogo shortage ya mariogo Nyamira that means ngam umuchando bwa mariogo beiro all through
umuchando noro inyorenga setaro yo murai bwense William Ruto yakora matuka maega eta Ruto bwe komanyene na kwantenga estate ya nyagitari ya Nyamira teringi yanga ndaenda kufanya hali ya hiyo hospitali kwe mzuri Ruto bwe komanyene na kwaneta
na maana
ekagera dware nera agatabe nyagitari ya Nyamira bado bokoreri bwaye tibori kerengo boisaine nyaribaga yasoki akamotebi nga yaya asteba na sengenjo ebintu biri gwataete ko nganga koraki ngakana kurumaega gabo inyore nyanyaribo nyare ko baga ko mochusana nensemo inyore of late na ribatike ko mochio njerusha na osoro abare ko tebanga nyaribo bwangire go saini ebintu biche bikore egasiga asenya gitari ya Nyamira na kego gera Nyamira etabwati bokoreri buya bobochon
asa mangana siasa nyaribo nimo koboka so kwanga ebintu dwara komwa kozi ekaro soro akoru Kisii County tali koruali ku Kisii County bagira ngombe koruali ku yani Nyamira County so ekara tabanga nyaribo bwangire ebintu that means abokurigere bone biche kana bakoranga ki egento nkere ya nyariba gusumeru atakole tiki atatageti na no matenga abe oborai to bwata bwense yaitu kero muntu wari umwanya biasara right ko we president tuturimboke twale nene biasara bya yataite gukini azoko madenga kina ai gore bintebi na we ono na nere tatageti asengenjo maybe chiba sago sabunere ngase ngenjo go bintebi abibe supplied takole tiki nere tatageti igonga ebintebi kero tukupikire kurwense meye muna butukurire ngaki nyaribo tomomochi tomo mojinga sengenja angete bintu lakini agara ukurigire from mwene here gasi ya muno mugavana na bora nyoro urigire bintu yoro ngaki bintu inganda biri konga Kenyaro na inche egiare na natagete kwa ko bari elected urigire ngaki inke abantu bagunsukumere bintu na inche kimbwate agenda yani ndaite gokoraki usini mbwate enchira yani county ko work twale ta kuru Nairobi anda achi kokonya health programs chia Nyamira cannot Nyamira these are devolved functions ta kunyara ko teinyaribo ngakiakoranie ka
lakini ya musinyire ya gonye bono nyagitari ya musinyire na kirende to gukora ngote ne serikali nene nebwate kurigere
you know monto saleti dual is a problem here ministry ya health ngakibona gocha kwa advice nyaribo nero saleti Nyamira so that means a total damage ya Nyamira the chifere ibere gocha amo gutaka gotokonya is like we are going to die the next minute so abu barabu yani tingochaka gotabanga kingabona tuale ngakale buya asenge oyo gange ta asenge nyona tari konyora maybe gose kantu kuruga gase bakomwa no oyo nero bwa igatete kumusukumera asenge njata komona lie bintu so ebine biasara aina mangana yebi amanu emenueli gosa kurutana mangana kukwaba na sengenjo yebi asara bitakora tikibitachite turu otherwise talinga n'abanyamira batotoko konyo ebire byasara bitachitu turuna kibakurutira na
ayakarangire kyanya ribote bire ngango cyari wa upgrade chinyagitari gati yabone kwa hota nyamira nyamaiya chichiko ba revo 4 nkerangire kino kyo esengenjo tere nguchigukini uchire gocha erinde chichikorwa bokoreri obuyana kubwatuke ebintu ebibi gochasi chinyagitari akarangire kino kirocha
akarangire nekia karanga yo wa upgrade chinyagitari chitu nekie abanyamira banyore services chingia bakini a question yane nkobori nelinga ki services chiko wenda kurwe unagote vinga ki wa upgrade nyagitari is not about elieta nga yabeire level 4 no that's not the case inyagitari wa upgrade wa no kuru services gete chire igoro gwetani status yeri yarenge akini wono izukurigera nyamira akibaba nyamira yaito umuchando gubwatete right no nyenkuru uri okwabusa nyagitari baka igoro gali asinyali baka ministry ya itoyobo chenu baka gali bono ya ike governor lakini aho tabelinga the confusion bono izukurigera umuntu izo kwa analyze speech ya nyalibo buna eresire gaiga ayebwe ko monyene bunu isaranstega nabako robole mamboro obole umboro as a ministry as a county to ya Nyamira moni ministry ya health why nyalibo bwe ko monyene bakke entali keira gosoma take manyiti tara verify tamanyiti ngaki baka naona malio akubule malio gaya naroro rogose mbona uchugocha
totebina kia gocha gocha
totebina kia gocha gocha
itukuki
so nyalibo yani tali privi tabwa ati inaona mangana ukwana
elbo koma sarenda yero chana agenda go
ide siasa eyun siasa noko na asenge njata ete kusibiri eta liria akwa amatobe na duale ata ete kusibiku chia saba Nyamira ngaki njemuro china aletri asa mangana yomuno lakini nae to isoko kole tara ya ito to isoko kole tara ya ito ngapono togende Nyamira uchikurigeria malio gaya ga tabanga ngaena ninga facilities ingwa netiko ko ba equipped na malio umano umento the next 1 week you will be ora abase ko shanga abo yana mangana yomuno mbagalenganya libari chi press conference ko ya ministry yobochero ingiki abere nothing okogenda no ni facility no nampana to konyora egara tabanga kinga izinga kwandale koleta malio ko 200 million malio koki you know again no got that ngaki amalio ga 200 million chipana to chiri chinganiga echiko ntokole gento wanuranya ambana to chuka ne chinini chike uno chuka chibekiro rongi
aso asenjira yo wango nande turamurekera ga base county ya Nyamira ngane yatonyoreka tware go kwanera chi agenda go sensiasa yacho on the right time gabo abu na ibu nande nyaribo gotebya abantu eriki asobongo moroberyosha nande on the same that statement yo magota nande sha teri go kora otherwise ministry yobo chene bwate chibese chita around 400 million euro chenkina ya kina na kiora ntebi ngeriki on the is Linet eriki na ndo nte ngasha teri go kora
igateba nalibo gateba nga the biggest problem Nyamira bwate sha is the problem na no mana gateba nga abantu eriki as a program ya sha
bono igona bateberi kyo
so nyalibo agwe contradict umathe ndongo gotebiga iga nyalibo gali keira mangana lakini ekera somire bo nanda arengereiri nando jaga ngente kana bana ga soma iga ozinyunga kinga nanda gwe tori kororo omuchando monene tubwate ga baba noyo ekero to gotebutu rikisha nandi twatebunga sha na ere problem ya Nyamira that means singa gente kende gyons amangana yoka gose speech ya nyalibo yoka nabo tokoranga bono umuchando bono obeire widen ugareire mono gwetani muna konyuringi
gwetani
muna
tonyuringi
bono chiro mentre cause bono twalire obobe na ne ministry ye gabona ya health cause bono oroje number 1 bintu kitokanda kumigeru mbicha ochaze county yetu ya Nyamira no nyaba bagenda tukurutana na mangana na duale bono public lio dabirenga ki tiriko ora bintu bibi ya duale lakini ko nare ko le MRI install ku Nyamira ngo nare ko ora gusenki ebintu byonse bye fasi I mean equipment CT scan jones bigota oro chebona kero Nyamira tari gutwara CT scan ba Nyamira as a county tari gutwara functional CT scan tebu adi a functional MRI intebi mbo services ki to abanyamira bakonyora there is nothing yani that is a speech ya lero go say enta ko lonje yero iga lonjiri egento ke koro kinga ki Nyamira is not functional iga oda banga ki nga is these failed systems. Number one, the system no nyine yege ntako eresa still is a failed system. Tamanye digento kende yonske andreda. So Nyamira mwana mento in terms ya mangana yobo chenu, I think teatora ranye beka zero mata egere yani aba Nyamira bambanye ngaki bali yencherende yuwe konya soku rwaligu than Nyamira kurangelie press conference baso live bachaka ko eresa ngakonya baraba Nyamira. There is nothing.
Biamono turatiga ka ciase ciche county ya Nyamira turane no ina so murai bwense bwe komonyene murai bwense bridge nere gukwaneru ya Darakaniri bridge nyimete yara korre
6 times
yara korre accident ngate no mai tomugani bakigitesenya ke monke amurikire tomugano bwe bridge yu yabere kirenga kyo murai bwense kirachire chinsa mecho anaguzia bridge yega it is on the process in fact abatebeti ekera are gukora chi campaign cha 2022 na kwanete ororo ni ritanyore chinga kitonyore chi video chi na kwanete ororo gotabange bridge yega munango sobura yiga nkonyerigererinde nane mpaka juzi tare 24 umutinyu achiete nsemi yakabata ingana ki bridge ningendete kunyeri inkyo karangera ringa bridge ni agenda bado ya serikali gosonere egokora politics
inda kwanira igoro ye bridge yo bridge yo maden kalenga ya launch 6 times ya launch 6 times. So egere bridge yakoro 6 times. Number 1 umataba na siasa bali abantu bali bagutubugurira obongo. Endo number 1 bakorra sobole mabuli. Bagocha bamana gukwana mangana ari utagite kuigwa. Tari ari batagite gokora. Mangana ari utagite kuigwa.
Ari bamanyete gento kirige guchandete.
Giguchandete. So ekara bakwana mangana ari gento kirige gucha kwakuneke nkoronga ki egende kero kintu tagite korosaligo. Kwamana gutwara okosemeri kulinga ki I think you ne rumonto this is the right person. Onero murai tutagite kono. So ekara kurigererie abantu batarakaniti bridge yiga mbanyeganiti. Ruto kwe komo nyene na kindiki oya imba manye ringi bridge ineta kire
onero muchanda abantu batarakaniki
onero muchanda abantu batarakaniki bata lakini banyurigire bune campaigning tool batigire bridge ebe campaigning tool egere bana kuyisuki ko chifosi bana kuyisuki ko chu ekenga kiri ekera bana inchi bago chikomeke decision ngaki bona to kubarosali bona iga opposition nechete magaga na esalia maji
igo bakonyera sibona ga
agenda nguchire kuzira so obatete kunyisuki this is a campaigning tool y'abantu batarakaniti egere echiko akindiki chintenge kuzi chinguru choko ninga na abatete ko baretarande gende kimwe deputy president na akodeki na kwante ne president ngokoreriki
ego chakarire chi campaign chibwatete
ya na ndo mate gento kenda bakenya totaramanya umuchando tobwato omonene uri ngaki indora asemi kungaki gintunke yo serikali egotokonya these are taxes that we pay to kwenda konyora service back lakini bono muchando monene neringa ki abana siasa bachakire komeki kirigento ki abana agenda you know my the bridge is not an agenda that is a service you're giving to people, to taxpayers abantu bagwakane ebango so ekero otetukuge onchora kebenga ngani bono is a privilege to konyora guru ase serikali when it's supposed to be a service talk about given because asengenje tax tokoro then we get it wrong so omochando monene ga igane ringa ki abakenya na indundu bwata magosa sengenje gotamanya what do we need services kitobwene to konyora gosegente is not ngane favor to gokolero so asengenje to kere ne favor boni president takes advantage you go tamanya waitu ojaka badanga igente kenko bakolerande in 1 month time igente kenko bakolerande which is our service not a privilege negente to bwene te konyora tutali ko beg to bwene te ko kenyora as a service so muna bantu batarakanite it's a very unfortunate like ekinege ndugitira abantu chi accident chi abairoro lakini in short we are yana benga tokogenda chimbera igoro twachaka kotenga za abantu bakwete twachaka kotenga nabo yani twarosie party as abantu bakwete that is very unfortunate yango tabi ngaki no bukristo buri to bwato boke trust you minga nonye nyasaye asale bono igali kiriti abana siasa tubwata bono iga nonye ndiri yani nonye ndiri nga nyasaye ganchi tabanya bibe na abantu bonse bi trust you mi abantu barabwena to gotinyi noje yani agotinyi buno jo kumnera be gotinyi enini atinyi go because they are a problem to us
mbia mono nande turarwenza me yadara kandi dikire county ne bwate me chando na ngota inga chi agenda chi ne chi agenda go se ekaro producer na ngonta inga karatu bekire e clip iki kya ni di bridge kitware gukwanira onye gwa Kenya renya umana bo gutobekera
imetusumbua kwa miaka mingi. My assurance to you is that we now have a solution for Nithi Bridge. Tuko na solution ya engineering na tuko na pesa ya kufanya hiyo kazi. Mimi nawauliza tu wale wanahusika wote, tuko hapo, lazima tufanye compensation kidogo kwa sababu ya mahali bridge itapita. Na wauliza wale wote wanaohusika, tafadhali, all of us, we must support the process so that we can deliver Nithi Bridge in the shortest time possible.
Oyino muraibwense muskewira muruto ngaitenga this is the latest yanya eteko bagukwana ragaiga mete Nithi nakina gotenga Nithi Bridge ga yakwanirwe. In fact watu kama nabantu bakure ekitari gendo kebonete gukokore rugosori ne banga mtu akwete chikura nonye ntu akwete mete eserikali iga ne abantu bonse una whatever nonye baagete opposition na bari baagete bado kama mokenya ukurwe bango na abwate haki yokonyora magendero nakike igoro cyo murayibwenza agotayanga anajua kuna procedure procedure ingi yako gara kwire miaka sitema yako koronya nabantu compensation banganyi gukuruga igatotenga Linet iga obone tocho suke guchari bridge yega reibu ingi why is it taking that long?
You know, let me tell you ekero abana siasa enini ende babwate na oda bagutubuliri obongo abana siasa nande they want to complicate into kyarolekane kenene so that tekera bagucha kuisolve kwaranga nigintu kyarenge kenene ngyali gocha kunyarekana so amangana compensation. This is a government in place, you know, made enini ndenga ki whether ngo agree government chikule gositungi yakereti. We are talking about the Kenyan government, we don't talk about the government who agree chikura the government in place nerego eregas so ekero president ego tenena yamana watabanga bridge ya tusumbuire for so many years. I think that is a tusumbuire. Do you know those executive orders? Yani monto bridge ya sumbuire abantu. There is no way montara ara cha kuse president era cha tabanga ki ngabantu bangire mangana compensation is you what. Ekero to tabanga ki the engineers ngabanyode the right engineers. Banyode chibesa. So do you want to tell me ngakonya engineers in the what? That is a statement, a political statement. That odanga yani ngabono ende kikirire ngakya sengenjo tokonye tokuli engineers, which is not the case. Aya endo kende president iga ata tokota yabantu ba the Nithi Bridge around yabunga ki anate tokoboro ngaki ende kega abantu barule kurumagano on the previous government basinyiru. So bono ninje manyara ninje na achire bono igenteke ngoya nande ko gakora ki but your rule promises all through as igoro ye bridge mpaka tu ikire bono umuchando no linga ki e bridge yiga. This is a simple thing umwana minto ke buenete ko koru and it's not the president to go and sit down to launch a bridge. You know, even the president, the
Ministry of Roads,
the Ministry of Roads. That's why I might take some time back we discussed na the president, again the Kekia for 6 years. Kekia launched actually 6 times. The president, he got everything. I got week in a press conference. He got in every ministry igamanye tebintu biko koreka na mononu muchandoro romono kubwana no chi minister chirega in that goes does it egente kyoro chingo konga agengo bwata nakire if he can see a problem why is he not solving the problem?
Tora no mangana yo adara kanidi nargo tenga tokana wikana na si county ya kesi cancer center na erororo cancer center yo koromura ibwensa rororo na rie egukwaneka abantu na iwe baraya babakwamerire serikali bagotebanga oise kogendoro na bakonya kende nkiyo kegendrete biro ebira gitabya begetwa konyoragia kiacha kya kurake go kiagenda. Why is it taking that long? Because koruya kalonje tigwe Unango kende kiarore kan bado roche ini agenda ya serikali gose kanse nero ne politics kora akerworo.
You know na ka tote ko kwana karake go nga kiregento in Kenya lazima politics ya so ime. The cancer center ya Kisii County number 1 tisikulie cancer center yoma thari ya chaka yesterday. It's not something ya chaka yesterday. Oisikuligereria ekere president yegocha usepekere president ya kogenda usebinte winga launchiri igoko nyora chipira gitabi atangani rororo bya kurire umana gochota banga muro chitwa bekire bire egasingo ngochakere bono ya akiri munakorworore munagosoke binde bibigochi bigwoki amaguta garire dia bekire buna gosoka gana biro bya mubwatu kumara. So it's not any different from the cancer center to kwanera ya Kisii. Umojando noro lengoro from the word go like Simba Arati the tarenge kwa serikali. So bono na Simba Arati want to take pride ye ntinga bono na so ile serikali gente kingokora kero. Musingo chaka kero korekana. But umwana umenda mangana na yo mono. Na oda binga these are campaigning tools. Ekenegento president ata itegosuki. No je dia gesukiri ye kire dia bono to chikora chiko gemberera chia gairange. Umanya korora bantu bagwagacha bintu bikwagacho. But is not indicated to kwagacho ka konyo abantu. Everything in this country bono kiabere it must be politics. No nyene pasa liyo mwana konyora ya renge kuruenga ya Kibaki ya renge nganege ntoko. Yani you have to go opegi an MCA opegi an MP go say women rep for you to get a parcel. Why? It's because ba manyirenga for aba 90 abana inchi ko basazima kusikuzazima abana siyaza aba rasima bameke ibintu bibe so hard bibe bikonko binyora so that yake roko gendo reke roko akonyu yani kwera na gwata banga kakinya saone no tali momanya kakia kankonyo rumwana. That is what they want.
Alafu naende chingumanje chikunya koranda binyoro murai wense na agenda gari ekorende na kikoro suneka
strip
aya gatabanero agatabe mitinye 3 December tokoli na gwende kuru totabanye Wilson airport ya kuruta suneka kwa mako gendanye yaso kwari goche bantu ngote abari ngabuna lirio murai bwensa asogete biragita na biri byasogeta
nakiki ngota ibona bikere gintu ni project na wale project chance bina bachi ko genda yo umurai bwense umate ruto na kwante statement na neri gocha kumuruma neri gocha kumuita nande igata yatanga wakenya wajinga walisha Kenya so bono akakanga bono tama yetinga igole ta bantu bongo ade wa Kenya walishe ngage yare ko campaign go ade ko ruse babo Uhuru Kenyatta from government igote egento ngeli nga osemuna liba tanga wembe ni ule na ande genda bona kumanya wajinga walisha Kenya the moment aba Kenya bachakire kumanya the way bono politics yaite ko evolve usikulire linjera politics yaite ko evolve binde byonse bintu ari ko bimanya no nyenkansa sente yentu nkwali goje ko yimanya na sengenjo ya abana abono for example abasae bamanyirenga egenteke na kiata baiga bakulire baka bata banga do you know nga nonyene cancer center none budget ya you know na bengento ke kolonju nonye budget ya eteyo kente kenkeli in budget nkiarenga in that financial year nkiarengo still umujando no to kwa na mangana yomuntu lakini budget yeta kole tiki teyo ya cancer center te kunyara ko chaka nonye budget the president na kwa no beze nchi uchikonda kwa gacha kente kenkeyo. So this is just a political gimmick tokuna umupira tokuna marketing tokuna okodunga ki onu muntu okora magendera patia magendera yo mwana omindo baba sintu akokolero nonye ntu anya ora magendera ya muntu kiakala
asinje kwa kwandire kabunga bado ebintu okonyora nga budget teraswa mubunge Cliff Gisairo na yuga ukwana nge University ya Nyamira kento kenga bune yunge ga se budget na ndenga igwa oyo iga umunyakero go bwiki amagia Jubilee Vincent Kemosi neraga tabanga University ya Nyamira gento nkewe kurukunga University of Nyamira erine University ya Kisii ekoirwa campus ya ekoiru Nyamira bana na kirocha mangana bibado
you know na gote binga sengencho yobole ubweito buna bana inchi gozibuna bagusiyo go tamanye binto. That is why a president yako take advantage of
lakini
us.
University of Kenya neba ne campus totabe kurusi kukisi ekore tuga Nyamira bado musingi torasuka
Kento nkeyo. Do you know that's why nko the binga
ki ya karonje tu none nyumba ke rukwa gachango ruri ngarero nabe kali toboli bundi ya chebe kali toboliga yabe kaiga hata first floor teraika
inuma tena batukia mangana nande mangana atako basinya ko yamanya inje naye ndo metenga ki university ya Nyamira ta kwalitiki teyo it not there kenteke buna gisaira ateba there is no budget ya Nyamira University. It's a campus. Buna kisi university ko lete campus nya Nairobi guy. It's another campus bako bata ko igore ebense mo ya Nyamira. There is nothing. So the president ago jaga iga asenge njama nyetenga ki you know my the president tara aboka kuruchi toro chiri alenge nga igale ko tonelia mangana. Otoneli hope. You know bana siasa na babali ko bako toneli yoko semelia. Yani tuwa belingo igente kenko andakere koba. Tama yetinga bono ko nyoko semeli chinga kichi aichi elire. So still igaga ndate ko tomeli obo semeli. Uzukuli ile ngento kene mbwata ni university na ne terminal ye railway ko chagweta ikonge gale. Uzukuli ile ndekintu akikwane ruga. Oyonde MP ya West Mogrango. Akamana wotabanga Nyamira ntutageti terminal. Ntutageti station yeti anjero ekere dinali nganali elitalima station railway station ntutageti. Inkamana koranga obole ububora ibwito no bogerete ekero Steve Mogaka go itanansa studio buna ga igomana wotabanga ngabanyamira ntutageti. Do you know a station ingendo kiera aleta sabanyamira? Inke university era aleta sabanyamira. It will widen yani ebya none byasara byoka. Nona abantu buka kuliku. Nona umuntu uli oranda undigali nabakwa kacha nona akanyumba gali naka one bedroom umuntu okole gazi gali go station go umuntu okole se university gali akole amenye orinse yuko travel so ojisobo. Yani paka nona ekyo na yani Steve Mwakale to kutobolo yobo ngwa we cannot reason beyond that. Igomo janda to bwato mwana minto ringa politics yaito yabeire iere faces services. Yani it's again to konyora to konyora yani a service telling a service to konyora zinge njuto akane te bango. To konyora service zinge nju mwana siasa akoraki ateba nganko egutuli. Yeah, that's the problem we are. But even to Beyonce, Ninkoboli no negente kemo. A president ya launchiri William Ruto launchiri in Kisi ko segusi yaito. Kia bere into completion. Kenya one. I know mutu kia mangana. Give me one project. William Ruto launchiri in Kisi County ko se in Nyamira County. Ya eri complete. He's a president. He has the powers. Tell me one thing. It's absolutely
asenge njota gendete namba turatiga ina ntoso yaza sema onyore nga bado togendete kumurikira nga nichi agenda bago tuonera gusensia sabago chabaka enseme ko ameriria serikali abantu bari barase serikali banyere ko bago tabanga alternative government tebwati agenda ende yonse gendo yabo one term must go kasongo na ruto bokera bago tanga wana sera ya kuzia wananchi na abantu bago agenda yabe ntangani must go kerengere kingere kike goroche go senga impact kike bwate go cha somo Kenya sa ukorigere bono
ozo kurigereria you know my the aba we ntora kura talimambi chi wako Ruto doesn't need opposition is agenda amanya gukorera wananchi egasi he doesn't need what is the work of opposition? The work of opposition according to our constitution, work of opposition is to keep checking as a watchdog, government. So because you know opposition will just take advantage the failures of government. It becomes an agenda to them. So there is no way Ruto aragani opposition agenda like chikura mambi chikonda wako. This is a political statement that they kutumia ngaya nonye na aba umoroje nganje no mobe lakini nonye na aba mbakole tiki babu atikende ba okora. That's not the case. But number one is they talking about the housing levy. One, they want ekarogasha wako beki statement chia in roadsides chini niaji campaign chia yako and say opposition wako number one over the thing once una wako so in government abantu bere ni uchiba chia housing levy because uzokuligeli entokene na to discuss it ga to akwane korea Singapore ngakia abantu ba chinyomba Singapore chia alikuwa gachu what but bono the system iko work in Kenya is not the system where iko work in Singapore. Those are two different mujenye is over abunege sunde. So ekero tukuligereri the agendas the government has. The agendas the government they are not for us. Also kulige the article report. Ekero ko yesoma onzibi. There is no way Kenya go apia. Ko insisi ambalile ga tenne to ko bowling agi bage president ko bowling agi na you sure you want to talk?
You want to talk? I was there. Como te one third.
Yeah, one third gender rule. Why? This agenda ya chete the original kwa roje babo kisairo the opposition the sisi ndio sifuna they went back to analyze what they report completely ngakiarenge is yani yarenge etobauti negento tu algo so merugali reason ngaki agenda is about them. It's not about us. The agenda is about us. It's something you watch but it was just reduced to them. It's just something get for us. Agenda number one, your opposition is to check the government. Is a watchdog year government. So ekere government yako ba criticize. E government yebwena takubuka kuruchi toro chichi ya ekere opposition ya criticize riege a stable government was a government that is running yeko anangaki opposition igaro mba what a point. Let us now shift to koleke because these are Kenyans who are also talking. So lakini ekere government ekere ku criticize kwa mana wano kuritari ngake ngabono inu the agenda you are discrediting abantu yani mutagete bone government igebwa the defense mechanism elinga bono genta position bonzo ba ukwana asengenja ba Kenya ba bwatu mungusukuru asaba Kenya they want to discredit it complete so that ba Kenya amba manyanga ki that is what is happening in government. But to me the agenda number one buna opposition ba goteba ekero ba goteba Ruto must go. Do you think Ruto must go because they don't have reasons? There are reasons. Ruto must go. Ruto must go because because they are not going to be killed. That is agenda number one. Agenda number two, all like public servants or civil servants, they are going to be given their money because they are not structured. There is no way umondago na jwa using living and turko kunyomba abanda bangawo bamana kwanda bamochikwana uzikuru chinyombe chiaina niru yani chiavere police paka naonye na chi abantu bali bako no chichibeza bali konyora nyombe icho. So the agenda number 3 is the economy of this country. Where you and me instead your country itokoganda bosyo we are lagging behind as a Canadian in the health ngwara yento kenengere abaga ali samangana yokorate ministries muna chiokorwega as look akaba number 1 asoko asamangana ya bakoliga as ba Kenya and I think the Robert number 1 but you ngurigereri come number 1 to what? There's nothing the government is doing.
Since ando chigendete komnyoka lakini message nerege iga emo uswate na rukuruku iga felistas ke mundago ntebe akotonyara kuruchinsa mocha at river agoteba erenu mwali magoteba mbiamo no sana aso kumulikira yagendete gutorenga awata lakini government yaba failures the nini JSS teachers awata they have money kuonjuka na nensengima wakora chi campaign lakini bari mbanya kuri kwa so umoroberio permanent and pensionable.
You know, my tento bato machanda se asamangana yubuli kibwa balimu. And I think that even to yachaka yesterday, I think yachakire. And Ruto oizukulili igagoteba na I have employed 100,000 teachers, I have enrolled 150,000 teachers. You know, ndongereza Iraq one day some time back, MP Kitutu Masaba. Agatebanga ekero CBC. Yali kuiburu. Number 1, to be yali kuligiru number 1. Abali mumba ngoja kulikubale. So there was that proposal. Ruto totolikere balimu. The proposal was there. The only thing iko kia monyora asenga kili yakoraki abali bakuliko. Nanda balimu abakuliko. We discussed nande yenteke abalimu abakuliko. Talk about the numbers. but can you verify the numbers? This government is well known as a mangana PR. Asoko ruta mangana yumunutu. If the projects that they are doing, they are baminyokie birogi toro president ke wekona ande biirana abali mu abaramu tojo trusting ambali kire usena ambe to the 100,000 plus imbali kire. So this is the government that this is a government to trust. Abali, by the way, they were claiming SHA is not working for them. SHA no is monto nwenzi yokolero. SHA ejibese this is where yani everything in this country, every project, every system is just a scandal. One is SHA is the biggest scandal. Scam you would highlight left, right, center. Togo chengen tukende asama liba kaba kutika balimu buna balimu bako sabo. You know balimu they are not demanding. They want ngaki tika baira niliku their whole system way of yokonyora medical services chabo. There is nothing about it because this is not working for them. So inki a public servant, a teacher by profession, o kolegasi inki atanyora service. Taxi akunacho. There's a tax energy. So where are we battling the government when you get to clean to Kenya into Togo Saba? Government because for them we so we not take every time this is a government to authority in place if what biasara. So na tuwale government wata wana biashara kero mondate to koranga kiako benefit. Kento kende gions bigao korun this government kero mondate to kumanya kiako benefit. Otherwise without that benefit kento ngeyo kiako sokura. No project will go through because they are not benefiting.
Biamono sana Samuel kero ndo chenga ebiro bitu bya kero kende ngana yawo yo mwere ucha soma gusio kurete mambia bano nerere. Omugusi mwanya ngitinge ogoza bakwane no komo. Na beko nyarikana tuachorera barai biwangwe tofauti lakini ase tuikirete bono iga na sense yaito ya Kenya yaikire gusegusi yaito status tutete goyesukia ni ringaki lazima togende back to the drawing board torenga muraiki tuganeti ase chinga kiechiga chia bono iga ase ngenja barai baito bono iga sekurigere likuru county ya Nyamira ya Kisii abarai baito bonus bono iga igento batanganeti nenda yabo tari omwana inji ase ngenjo yereri ikirege kiabere nga politics lazima tuwagule toende tukobanyora igonga enka kiende toko gulibaga yogochora barai tigatochora barai bari beken bari bakuwakeria abananchi igonga is up to you nga abarai yuto etembarai bainage nonye na abaiga tokende na baro nona abande chora barai kulingana nechinga kiechiga azosemia ke gatwikira. Thank you so much. Biamono sana Samuel mumanya sokonyora chinga kinago chagega sogo sanga nebirondo chenga byanyara ko babiko mnyoka abantu bari bari gwakachisimira kiningo sabo kwabera tenya chiko bangu bogore semi kogera chinga kinigo cyarenge chinke mono lakini kero kende naende ntumira na SMS yega erinde tonyako batogo semani nabo igo tonyako batogo sanga inyoranga ekyombekeri kyoboriki kyobochori nechimbebe IEBC yarana ritkorio mwerio honya tora eriki abuna umwaki ekura ene kingango sokore imukirira bono igagenda eriki erinde tocha kurera ochagoteba nga ninu mwanchoreta barai no bwate chingaki mbono igo kwendo eriki buna umwaki ekura erinde na rura chakoba asaga yake robochori bore busyo ene kingango chororo murayuri rocho ubwata magendero na ndo uri ubwate chi agenda chingi ya uri ora chikoko konya ene kinga ngwesokiore erindo eriki buna umwaki ekura na gwikiraga bumurigere bwensoko no tugukorera Etorobini Ensoko ngukuganirio gendere gutwara uburigererio bya nabo gutwara umubaso muya erietariane Linet Nyamabane.